Hello everyone! Today's video is another hard level Solve With Me episode from the New York Times. I'll do a few more of these from the New York Times and then I'll look for some more challenging puzzles from other sources. Meanwhile, I entered the puzzle into an app that lets me use both corner notation and center notation as well as highlighting cells if I want to. You can find this free app at www.f-puzzles.com if you want to try it out as well. Alright, let's get going. This puzzle has a lot of numbers placed already in some of the blocks, but blocks 1, 5, and 9 only have one number each, so that might make the puzzle a bit harder, but who knows. Alright, I like to begin by scanning the numbers 1 through 9, so let's start with the number 1. And there's a number 1 here in block 3 and 1 here in block 7. I don't see any other ones, and they both intersect into block 1 and block 9, but I don't see anything I can do with that, so let's move on to the number 2. There's a bunch of 2's in this puzzle, and so I'm going to start by using only Snyder notation. I'll mark that in the corners of the cells. Just as a reminder, Snyder notation is when you can only pencil a number if it's restricted to the cells in a block. If the number can go into more than 2 cells in a block, then I'm going to leave that alone for now. So, using Snyder notation, I can pencil in 2's in block 1, here, and here. What about block 2? Yes, the 2's intersect into block 2, leaving only 2 possible cell locations, here and here. Let's see, can we place a 2 anywhere else? No, I don't think so. So let's move on to the number 3. And this one is easy. There's a 3 here and a 3 here. So we can place a 3 right here. Does that help me place any more 3's? Yes. Here in block 8, because of these 2 3's, I can place a 3 here. And now, does that help me place any more 3's? Yes. Here in block 9, I can pencil in 3's here and here. And looking around here in block 2, I can pencil in 3's here and here. I don't see anything else I can do, so let's move on to the number 4. There's only one 4 in the puzzle, and I don't see anything I can do with that, so let's move on to the number 5. Okay, these 2 5's intersect here into block 3, so I can pencil in 5's here and here. Now, what I have here is called a pointing pair. That means in block 1, there can't be 5's here in the 3rd row, and there can't be 5's in the 2nd row because of this 5. So the 5 in block 1 will have to be in the top row, but it can be in any of these 3 cells. So I'm going to leave that alone for now since I'm still using Snyder notation. Alright, here in block 6 there is a 5. So in block 4 there can't be 5's in this row. So I can pencil in 5's here and here. And looking at block 5, because of these 2 5's and this 5, I can pencil in 5's here and here. Okay, I don't see anything else I can do with the number 5, so let's move on to the number 6. And we have a 6 here, and a 6 here, and here, and here. So we have a bunch of 6's. So let's see, these 2 6's and this 6 means that I can place a 6 in block 7 here. So we have a bunch of 6's. These 2 6's and this 6 means that I can place a 6 in block 7 here. And now that lets me pencil in 6's in block 9 here and here. And because of this 6 in block 4 and this 6 in block 3, I can pencil in 6s here and here. And so now these 6s become a pointing pair, or they're also called locked candidates. And that means that here in block 5, there can't be a 6. And because of this 6 in block 4, there can't be 6s here. And because of this 6 down here in block 8, and this 6 up here in block 2, I can place a 6 here. I don't see anything else I can do with the number 6, so moving on to the number 7, we have a 7 here and a 7 here. Okay, because of this 7 in block 6, there can't be a 7 in this row. So now in block 4, I can pencil in 7s here and here. And now I have a 5-7 matching pair here in block 4. That should come in handy. So now these 3 cells cannot be a 5 or a 7, and they can't be a 2, 3, 6, or 8. So I'm going to fill these cells in with center notation, and what's remaining is a 1, 4, and 9. So let's see, this can be a 1, this can be a 1, and this cell can't be a 1. Then the 4 can go here or here, and then any of these cells can be a 9. Okay, let's finish scanning. I just finished the number 7, so let's look at the number 8. And I can place an 8 here and here. I don't see anything else I can do with an 8, so let's move on to the number 9. And because of these 2 9s, I can place a 9 here. And that now lets me pencil in 9s in block 6 here and here. Let's see, is there anywhere else I can pencil in 9s? I'm up to 9. Okay, I have 2 9s in the bottom rank, so in block 7 I can pencil in 9s here and here. Okay, so now that I've finished scanning the numbers 1 through 9, I'm going to look for a row, column, or block that only has 2 or 3 cells remaining. And down here in block 8, there are 3 empty cells. So I'm going to fill in those cells with the missing numbers. And I'm going to use the center notation since I'll be penciling in all the possible numbers for that cell, regardless of the block. So what's missing in block 8? We're missing a 1 and a 4 and an 8. Okay, that didn't really help us, but later it will, so at least we know that these 3 cells are a 1, 4, or an 8 and nothing else. That leaves 2 cells remaining in the column, so I might as well fill those in. Let's see. What's still missing from this column? We need a 7, and there is already a 7 in block 8, so the only place a 7 can go in column 6 is in block 2, here and here. I use Snyder notation here because the 7 is restricted to 2 cells in the same block, and so that might help me later on. Okay, so now if I look down here at block 5, because of these 2 7s, and also there's a completed segment here, and then this 7 and this 7, then the only place a 7 can go in block 5 is here or here. Okay, back to block 2. What numbers can this cell be? It can be a 1, a 4, and a 7. And this cell can be a 1, 4, 7, or 8. But one of these cells has to be the 7. Okay, I think I just spotted something here, and yes, let me just check. I had penciled in 3s here in block 2, but this row has a 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, so it needs a 3. And if we look at the remaining cells, this cell can't be a 3 because of this 3, and this cell can't be a 3 because of this 3, and this cell can't be a 3 because of this 3. So the only place a 3 can go in this row is here. And now there are 3 cells remaining in this row, so I'm going to pencil that in. Let's see what's missing. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're missing the 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so this cell can be a 7 or a 9. And this cell can be a 7 or an 8, but no, we already placed 7s here using Snyder notation, so that means that the 7s have to be in these 2 cells, so this cell can't be a 7, and it can't be a 9 because of this 9, so it must be an 8. Which means this cell over here has to be a 7 or a 9. And let me go back and fill in that 8. So that's nice. We have a 7, 9 pair here in row 2. Okay, so now that I placed the 8 here, that means I can eliminate this 8 in block 5, and then this has to be the 8. And so now I can fill in this cell. Since these cells are a 1, 4, 9 triplet, then the row is just missing the 2, and it has to go here. And now that means that this can no longer be the 2, so let's get rid of that. And now this has to be the 2. You see how that Snyder notation pays off? I might as well fill in this cell. It can be a 1 or a 4, and that's it, since the 7 has to be in one of these 2 cells. Okay, looking down the column, I can fill in this cell with a 1 and a 4, 7, and this cell can also be a 1, 4, or 7. Now, because I placed this 2 up here in block 2, then this can no longer be a 2. So this has to be the 2. And now, because of this 8, I can get rid of this 8. And so now one of these 2 cells in the block has to be an 8, but it can't be here because of this 8. So this has to be the 8. And now in block 7, I can pencil in 8s here and here. Okay, back to block 1, we have a 1 here and a 1 here, both intersecting in block 1. So I can pencil in 1s here and here. And so now this can't be a 1, so this cell is either a 4 or a 7. And that means that the 1s in block 2 must be either here or here. But now when I look at block 4, I see that I have a 5, 7 pair here, and then this 1, 4, 9 triplet here, with the 1 in either this cell or this cell, and this cell is either a 1 or a 9. So let's see, there needs to be a 9 in column 2, and if this is the 9, then this will be a 1, but if it's a 1, then this can't be a 1, and then the 1 would have to go here. So this is a classic X-wing pattern. Okay, I see. The 9 has to go here. Why? Well, column 2 needs a 9, and it can't go here because of this 9, and it can't go here because of this. This is either a 5 or a 7, and it can't go here because of this 9, so this cell has to be a 9. That means this has to be a 1 since the column still needs a 1, and it can't go here because of this one, so this has to be a 1. And I can get rid of this one. And since I just placed this 9, then this cell has to be a 4. And then this is a 1. And now the row is done. Alright, now there are only 2 cells left in column 2, so I might as well fill that in. What's missing? The 5 and the 7, so let's pencil in a 5 and a 7 here. And I'll pencil it in here in the center, might as well. I really didn't have to do that because it's already in the corners, but anyway. So let's have a look around some more, and I might as well start filling in some more numbers. In the top row we have a 1 and a 2, so what's missing? A 3, so this can be a 3. This can't be a 3. This can be a 3. And the top row also needs a 4, right? So that can go here. 5, this row needs a 5. That can't go here because of this 5. And it can't go here because of this 5. It can go here and here. And the row is also missing a 7, and that can go here, here, and here. Okay, that didn't help me much yet. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to fill in column 3. It's still missing a 3, 5, 7, and 9. So this cell can be any of those numbers. And this cell can't be a 3 or a 7, but it can be a 5 or a 9. And this can be, we're missing a 3, 5, 7, and 9. So it can't be a 3, 5, or a 9. So we have a naked single here. And this cell can only be a 7. And that resolves the 5, 7 in this cell. This now has to be a 5, and then this is a 7, and then this is a 5. I love it when the numbers just fall into place like that, right? All that hard work in the beginning really starts to pay off. And I'm not done yet. Now this cell is a 7, and then this is a 9. And now I can get rid of the 7 from this cell, and I can get rid of the 7 and 9 from this cell. And now I have a 3, 5 matching pair here. So that means that these two cells are either a 3 or a 5, which means this cell has to be a 9. And now I can get rid of this 9. And so we have an 8 still missing from column 1 and a 4. So let's pencil in the 4. All right, let's have a look at column 4. We have an 8 here, so let me get rid of this 8. And then this cell is either a 1, 4, or 5. And this cell can't be a 5 because of this 5, so let's pencil in a 1 and a 4. So this cell has to be the 5. So this row still needs a 1, 4, 6, or 7. These cells are either a 1 and a 4 or a 1, 4, 7. This cell can be a 1, 4, or a 6. And this cell can't be a 1, so it's either a 4 or a 6. Oh, and I need to get rid of the 7 here, since I already placed the 7 in here in the top row. So that means this cell has to be a 4. And now this cell can't be a 4 or 7, so it has to be the 3. And then that makes this the 5. And then this is a 3. And since we have a 4 here, this has to be a 1. And then this is a 7. And now I can eliminate the 4s from this cell and from this cell. So the only place a 4 can go in block 8 is here, which makes this a 1. And so now we can eliminate this 1 here. So this column has a 4, 7 pair remaining, and oh, I just realized there's a 9 here, so this can't be a 9, so this has to be a 7. And because of the 1 I just placed, I can get rid of this one. And I know I must be missing something else. Okay, this is a 4, 6 pair, so these cells are either 4 or 6. That means this cell can't be a 4, so it has to be a 7, which makes this a 4. And now we have 3 cells remaining in this row, and what's missing? The 4, 5, and 9. So this cell can be a 4, 5, or 9. And this cell can be a 4 or a 9. And this cell can be a 4 or a 5. So now I have a 4, 5, 9 broken triplet here. And I have 3 empty cells here in this row. So what's missing? The 1, the 2, and the 9. The 9 can't go here because of this 9, so we have another naked single here. This has to be the 1. And now I can eliminate this one. Let's see, down here in the bottom row we have a 1, 8 here. So let's fill in the remaining 2 cells. We're missing a 1, a 2, and an 8, but this can't be an 8 because of this 8, and this cell can't be a 1, so it can be a 2 and an 8. And this is interesting. I think I just found a hidden single here in this cell. If I look at all the numbers in the row and the column, I see a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And over here in the block, there's a 9. So the only number missing from this row, column, and block is a 4. That was nice. And now that resolves this 4, 8 pair. This has to be the 8. And then this is the 4. And that resolves the 4, 6 pair up here. This now has to be a 6. And then this is a 4, which makes this a 9. And then because of this 4 and this 9, this has to be a 5, which makes this a 4. The 9 I just placed resolves this 2, 9 pair. This is now a 2, and this is a 9. And this 6 here means that this 6 pair in block 9 is resolved. This has to be a 6. And because of this 3 up here, this 3 pair in block 9 is also resolved. This has to be a 3. And the remaining cell in the column is a 5. Now I think everything can be filled in. Let me just finish up this row. The row needs a 1 and an 8, but because there's an 8 up here, this has to be the 1. And then this is the 8. And then this is a 1. And this is a 2. And this is the 8. And now there's 1 cell remaining, and it's the 7. And the puzzle is done. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I hope you enjoyed following along with me. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.